In a world filled with screens and schedules, sometimes the greatest adventures are just steps away from home. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm taking advantage of a warm December weekend in my own backyard. I've got a little patio I built with a paver fire pit, and I think it'll do just nice. Let's get set up. I'm setting up a Palmolive winter hot tent that I've used in a couple of videos. I have to be honest, I don't really like this tent much. Sure, it works as a simple lightweight hot tent, but it is way too cumbersome to set up, and I've also learned that it can't take a snow load. Okay, so the good. This tent is made of a great ripstop nylon fabric, probably 60D. It seems super similar to my ultralight hammocks. The space is set up like a traditional lean-to and offers an inviting sleeping space. I mean, just look how fun the tent is in porch mode. The tent warms up nicely when all openings are closed, but there aren't any vents in the tent that I have found. So you have to be cautious about carbon monoxide taking all the oxygen. Okay, one more gripe. This tent totally needs to be double walled, or at the very least, offer some heat reflecting additions around the stove area. That would make a huge difference in the space. Okay, I think for comfort camping, I'm going to use this beast. This is one that my wife and I use when we go in our spring bar. And it's just a bigger, wider, blow-up mattress that we have. Really comfortable, but it's big. It's fun. It's one of those where the bag is what you can use to blow it up with. We got beast. Whoever came up with the idea to use the bag of your sleeping pad as a tool for inflating, genius. There we go, that's a good one. Thanks, random millionaire holding that patent. I like to keep everything in the tent, and sometimes I like to put my bags in the bottom of my sleeping bags, but for this one I'll just kind of coil it all up, put it here in the corner. For a time I got really into Dutch oven cooking, and with that came a lot of kitchen gear. I was a leader in a local youth group, and I started building quite the chuck wagon setup for our overlanding camp trips. One of my favorite things to do while out camping is cooking with familiar gear that I use back home. This is no exception. Hey, I'm even using it at home. Thanks, Justin, for this little propane tank. It makes these little one-off cooking moments slick. I mean, lugging around those large propane tanks from my barbecue got pretty old. Appreciate it, man. Okay, now if you aren't finding a way to level your cooking surface, then expect things such as grease or water dripping on your shoes. or better yet, food and fixins rolling off the skillet. Such a simple thing to overlook and get rushed into cooking. But taking your time to make some simple adjustments brings a lot of hidden value to your cooking experience. Over the years, I've used this griddle and stovetop for a number of things. But tonight, we're cooking some fajitas. As the sizzle of the skillet fills the air, the vibrant colors of bell peppers, onions, and steak come to life. The tantalizing aroma wafts through the backyard, waiting for me to devour it. With each flip of the spatula, the ingredients dance, perfectly searing and caramelizing. I've made a feast tonight. There you have it, a fun little introduction to making some fajitas. I find getting out in my backyard and changing my cooking scenery is just as rewarding as taking off to the woods for a full-on adventure. Too often, I'm caught up in the hustle and bustle of packing up and getting out of town, that it can become inconvenient to pack up the family and take a solo trip away from my wife and kids. Why don't we do this more often? Maybe it's because we think we can only have an adventure if we leave our four walls. Or maybe it's because we have to experience real camping away from the familiar. Don't get me wrong, I'm all about that, and I crave it. But it has its place. And this is nice. I'm having fun. I found a lot of joy in spending time outside, just a few feet away from my back door. Maybe just as much as I've spent miles away. I've found using the solo stove doesn't completely negate the smoke from the fire, but it definitely helps. It's hard to avoid smelling like smoke, and there is something mesmerizing about having a campfire. You just have to do it. Do you see what I see? Yeah, that's right. They're playing so well together. I love how my daughters felt so comfortable playing together in the tent. They even grabbed their own books, their blankets, and their flashlights. They were playing school, of all things, and my oldest was teaching my youngest to trace letters from a textbook. Wow, that is worth every moment of setup. It's not too often that these adorable sisters play that well together, but when they do, man, you feel really proud as a parent. These moments are why this matters to me, why we spent an evening off our screens and not grazing the pantry for every little applesauce or animal cracker. Of course, I did promise them we could make s'mores together over the fire.
I think mine's gonna burn and I want it to burn.
You do?
Yeah, I kind of like them burn.
It's probably almost there. Should we look at it?
Yeah.
Ooh, quite close.
Okay, tell me when it's ready.
That's how you like it? Just like that? Okay. There you go. That look good?
It looks like
It looks
a
great.
iguana showing its
All right.
neck.
With playtime all wrapped up and s'mores all consumed, my girls are off to bed in the house. It's time to prep the firewood for the little camp stove inside my tent. You will notice I'm taking my time to cut these logs in half. Why am I going to all this trouble to do that? Well, you're right. It's trouble, and kind of a nuisance. Every time I need to prepare this stove, there is a major step to cutting the wood to size. It's a trade-off for how it packs down into a simple little case, but if you're not prepared to take a good 30 minutes to break up some logs and cut them down to size, then this stove isn't for you. I prefer one that could take larger logs, but again, trade-offs. I just picked up these logs from my local grocery store. They come in a little bundle pre-cut to this size. I need to build up enough kindling to start the fire and keep it going as long as I can through the night. This little stove burns the wood fast, and I'm not a big fan of waking up through the night to feed the stove, so I try to get as big of a log as I can that the stove can handle right before I go to bed. I'm fortunate to have a secluded backyard while living in the city. Being able to take a few steps outside my back door and make experiences just like this are definitely a privilege. I've used these little Esbit fire cubes as a heat source for my ultralight stoves, but tonight they'll make a great little fire starter. They burn fairly long and will help the larger kindling to take a flame easier. I figure why not make it simple? I'm just here having some fun in the backyard. The point of my evening is to relax and enjoy some comforts without too much effort. Alright, I've got the fire going in the tent. There is something about having a fire near you as you sleep that brings a sense of comfort, calm, and peace. Fire really does bring life. Now, if I could just get this tent to better reflect the heat. I can't believe it's the middle of December in Utah. There's no snow. Just get an extended fall and get to enjoy a fire and camping outside. I mean, all I'm in is a hoodie and a vest. It's not bad. fireplace inside the tent. I think this will be a good night. Alright, lights out. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the adventure as much as I did. Hey, I was even able to get some snow. As you can see, this tent can't hold up to much, but overall, I still had a fun night. Please like the video and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Your efforts help keep this channel alive. I'm Backcountry Blake. See y'all on the next one.